Hello, I am Jen Jones, and I'm the founder and entrepreneur at Connect and Elevate, and super excited to have what we'll call the finale of the series that we started a few weeks ago. I'm also the international bestseller of Intrapreneur, and I'll do the little smile with it. And it is really exciting to be able to say international best-selling author. It has exceeded my expectations, and I have been told that I should tell that story every time I speak. So that's what I wanted to do. So thanks so much for joining us. We are going to talk about being more present in our business and our lives. We're also going to really talk about energy, which, that's like my favorite topic. And when we're able to use our energy in a way that makes us love what we do and be able to be more productive and efficient. I'm actually going to pull a card today because I feel led to do so with these beautiful cards that I have. So let me do that right now. And of course, I land on a vision card. So we'll do that, vision. Direction, look for clues. Grace will lead you to the exact experiences and events you need at precisely the right time. So if that is something that hits you in your vision and maybe you're not sure where you want to go in your life and business, just take a deep breath and there's value in knowing what we want to do in the future. There's value in goals that we set. There's value in learning from our lessons from the past. But if we get stuck in the past, or which I have a tendency to do, is get stuck in future tripping, we are missing out on so much of our life. We live in either, guilt, regret, or we're living in the future of fear and worry. And Dr. Divya was the one who said to me, and it's in the book, it was August of 2021. And I had said something to her, and she's like, you need to go and get the book, The Power of Now. So I will extend that, pay it forward. Go and grab that book. If you have it sitting on your bookshelf, why don't you grab it and start reading again? It has been a game changer. Each time I read it, something new comes up for me because we're always changing. We're always growing. And this is our opportunity to sit, breathe. I just came off of another call. So I'm like, oh, breathe. I'm telling you to breathe and I'm telling myself to breathe. So today I wanted to pull out some of my favorite tools that I talk about in Intrapreneur. So if you have a notebook, if you have your laptop right there, your computer, and you're more apt to do this on your computer, that's fine. I'm a pen and paper kind of gal. And if you saw my office, you would actually be like, Jen, you're killing trees. So I've actually cut back. I've cut back on printing stuff. But sometimes it's just easier to take out your pen and really get in there and start actually writing. So everyone, I'm sure, has heard about the tool brain dump. What I would love for you to do is take a deep breath. And I'm going to give you just like a minute to brain dump everything that's in your brain right now, because in any given moment, I could have 30 to 50 things on, whether it's the to-do list, whether it's the idea list, whether it's all these things that we do, meal prepping for the weekend. What do I need in the grocery store? So I would love to give you the opportunity to sit and think about some of the things that you can brain dump on paper. And here's a little guidance: is you can do one whole list, personal, business, whatever comes to mind, you just write it down. Or you can have 2 columns, business, personal, and as they come up, you can figure out which column it belongs into or belongs to. If you need more time, go ahead and pause. If you're not live, go ahead and pause and come back once you're done brain dumping or you can't come up with anything else. And I would love to go over the 4 Ds. And that is, what do you keep on your list? So what do you do? What do you delete? Because there are some things in there that you definitely need to delete. And there's things in there that you can delegate. And I was just talking with a client about delegation. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have an admin or, it's not necessarily someone you have to pay, which I really go into in the book, is that you can find sources that are, someone who you don't have to commit 15 hours a week to for an admin. If you do have an admin, use them and use them efficiently, because when we talk about delegation, your time is better served in doing the things that make you money, like the money making activities. There's some other phrase that other people use that I was trying to bring up in my brain, but that did not work. So it's the money making activities. It's what on your list equals money in your bank account. For instance, you need to put together something for a client that you're going to be meeting with, and they're paying you to, go over something. I'm going to use bookkeeper because my bookkeeper has been very much in my face lately since it's tax time. I'm sure all those bookkeepers and CPAs out there are, going a little crazy, but I'm going to use that as, an example where, you have somebody who you can delegate things to, and it gives you the opportunity to do something that's a money-making activity. What about, and I'm going to use phone calls, but not a lot of people even use phone calls anymore, but I do in my other business, in real estate. I do use phone. I use it for text messages. And I also do a lot of private messages to people. So, when you're thinking about, the money-making activities on that brain dump, I want you to put a little, I think there's an official name to it, but it's the $sign. So go ahead and put the $sign next to those money-making activities, because as we move into the next tool, we're going to be able to prioritize. So if you are someone who can time block, go for it. If you are not, and I say time block and you're like, I feel like we've talked about this before. It's like, oh, it's so restricting and I just don't want to do it. We want to follow our energy. So we want to, be aware of our energy in the moment. And in order to do that, you really need to be present, because if you don't have an idea of where your energy is, you're either, we have a tendency to like go back and like, oh, this happened, and go over it 100 times. Or at least I do, you try to, damn it, or darn it. I didn't do that. I should have done this. If we're in the past, we're sort of in that moment and we're not really focused on the now. And when we're focused on the now, we're calm, we're content, and we have energy. So if we're always thinking about the past or thinking about the future, it can be energy draining. But we're in the moment and we're in gratitude, there's none of that. In the moment and in gratitude, there's none of that. So I just want to, it makes me want to take a deep breath. It's like, like that feels so good to be in the present moment and be able to decide what are you going to work on in that particular moment. And having this brain dump, we're going to move on. Having this brain dump gives you the opportunity to, when you are ready to sit down and know how much time you have available to work on your business or work on, anything in life. I'm going to bring up again, meal prep. That's something big for myself that I do every week. And I'm always like, okay, what am I going to get? What am I going to make? And it's all this planning that has to be done, but that's so much brain space that is taken up that we don't have the opportunity to really sit there and go, okay, like I got this. So I'm actually going to bring up some of my notes because I think it's really important that I don't miss anything on this. So if you are someone who, I mean, even if you do time block, this is actually a great tool to use. But, you know, if you tune me out, you're like, la, 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 la. When I say time block, all right, take your fingers out of your ears and listen, because this is an opportunity to learn a way to use your energy and your brain dump in a way that will maximize being more present in your life and business and getting more done. You know, I'm all about efficiency. If you read the book, I talk about sometimes I'm a little too efficient, to the detriment of living in the now and the present moment. So let me pull up what I'm going to share with you today. And it is called the Energy Retrain. And I'd be happy to, you know, go over it with anyone if, you know, you find it confusing, or maybe it's the next free gift, guys. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just found my next free gift for everybody. That's a great idea. Look at that. In the moment, get the light bulb above the head. So the Energy Retrain is both for business and personal. So as you've done the brain dump, and now we're moving into, and then categorize and put those dollar signs next to those money making activities, because you want those at the top. You don't want the easiest things at the top all the time. Sometimes you need that energy boost, or you need that boost a little bit to get, you know, in the momentum of getting some things done. But here we go. So the business. So there's 4 categories that I use once I've done the brain dump. First one is quick tasks. And so what is my intention for quick tasks? These are tasks that can be completed in 20 minutes or less. And then I say, okay, my energy level is low to medium. Now you can do whatever you want energy-wise. For me, tasks that I know take me 20 minutes or less are typically low to medium energy. They don't need a lot of energy from me. So I can do it pretty quickly. And if I'm not super, you know, in thriving, this is where I can get some things done. Some things like, you know, sending a message to someone, setting up a one-on-one with somebody, deciding, you know, am I going to cancel or keep going with, you know, doing, you know, X, Y, or Z. So something pretty quick and easy. Actually, on my list of quick tasks is my weekly and daily priorities. So then I know what I'm doing for the week, and I know what I'm doing every day. With a caveat to that is that I try to do the weekly one, and I don't always get to the daily one because I'm always evaluating my energy, but it's on my list. So I wanted to share that with you. So the second thing is business connections. So my intention here is to intimately grow relationships, which Intropreneur, we talk about growing those deep and nurturing those deep relationships. And for me, this is anywhere from 1 to 4 hour commitments. So this is my energy is medium to high. And I did 4 hours. You're probably like, Jen, you network for 4 hours? Like, that's crazy. Well, let me tell you, when you put things back to back, which I talk about in making those white spaces, sometimes you don't have a whole lot of time in between. So it could turn into, you know, a networking event that you whether it's on Zoom or in person, it could reach that 3 to 4 hours, especially if you back that up with, you know, a half-hour break and then you go into a one-on-one. So for me, it's 1 to 4 hour commitment. It could be different for you. It is a medium to high. It could be high for you. So just think about what kind of energy you need to go out there, network, whether it's one-on-one, whether you're going, you know, to actual events, whether it's Zoom or in person, those things like that. The next thing is incubation. So this is what I call my idea list, or things that I need to make a decision about. There are also things that may be fun, and they may be things that I just really need to think about. What am I going to do? For instance, on here, I have Retreat 2023. Wink, wink. Be on the lookout, because that is in my incubation list. And so is this something that I'm going to move forward with? Or is it something that I'm going to put off to another time? Or maybe I complete it, delete it completely. This for me is a high energy. These are high energy tasks because it takes me a little bit to figure out, am I going to go through with doing this? What is it going to take to do this? How long is it going to be? Where am I going to have it? All these things that come up, there's definitely a time, and it's a 1+, I didn't say that, but it's 1+ hours of time, this incubation of, thinking, journaling, maybe even meditating about things. So that is the third one. Hopefully everyone is on track here. The next thing is focus tasks. So my intention is projects that need 1 to 2 hours of my present focus. And what is the energy for that? The energy for that for me is high. That's a high energy thing because I have to be very focused. I have to be at the level of thriving because it needs my attention. For instance, if I'm putting together, a group program, or I'm putting together a masterclass, or I need to figure out, what was on my list was I need to figure out, what are we doing for book launch? And so that needed very high energy, very focused time. And then I just repeat that in the personal. It's the quick task, 20 minutes or less. For me on the personal side, that's more of a low versus a low to medium energy, because I'll bring it up again, meal planning. The next time you see me, you're going to be like, meal planning. And then you have contemplation. And in my personal life, sometimes that's a little bit easier. So I have my energy level low to medium. Personal connections. For me, this is low to medium because these are my family, friends, people that I really want to get together with and have conversations. It's family date nights, it's husband date nights, it's getting together with people that really matter to me in my life, and it needs to be on my list. I'll be honest, it needs to be on my list, not so that I can check it off, but so that, I don't get busy in the, ongoing stuff that happens, that I remember that, my life matters, my personal life matters, and so doesn't my family and friends. Focused tasks. Again, this is 1 to 2 hours of focused time, being present. And for me, this is a medium high in the personal. And this is, this also I have in here. Focused time is like figuring out like my appointments. Like, do I want to get a massage? Do I need to get to the chiropractor? Do I have PT? Do I need to get to the doctor's office? Do I need, to primp? Like, do I need to get my hair done, which is definitely on that list. That needs to go up to the quick one, because that's just a quick text message to my hairstylist, who will be like, yes, I can do it in like 3 weeks. So I don't know if everyone has the same issue with that. It's, trying to get your hair done is, a whole other ballgame. So I need to refocus. So this is the energy retrain. So I hope that you got some idea as to what can you do with that, because I think the brain dump tool is amazing. How do you take that to the next level through the 4Ds, through to your energy retrain? And again, if you block off your time, this is still an opportunity where you can go through and say, okay, well, this is what I'm going to work on during my time that I'm blocking. And so where do we go from here? Well, after you finish this energy retrain, I feel like a weight lifted. I'm like, oh, it's like so much relief. I got all of that on paper. I know what I can do if I have an hour's worth of focus time. I know what I can do if I have 20 minutes. I want to tick off a few things off my list. I'm like, this feels good. And now we're going to be in a place where we're grounded, right? Like we've gone through the chaos, the overwhelm, those feelings that we had before we started using a couple of these tools. And now we're like, oh, this feels good. And so let's talk about your morning routine. I actually do not do my morning routine anymore at the beginning of the morning. So for instance, when I hop out of bed, I literally hop out of bed and get kids ready for school. That works and I say kids, it's really just my little guy. I don't have to get my almost 17-year-old ready for school. But for me, in order for me to have this morning routine of getting grounded and being present in the moment, I need to get up, get those things done, get everybody out the door by 8 o'clock. My daughter's out by 7. Get the others out the door, including the husband. Bye-bye. Get them out the door. And then it's just a different energy in the house. So for me, I wait until after everyone is gone. Get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I've tried that. It works for a little while, but for me, my morning starts when everyone leaves at 8 o'clock. And so you find the right time, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse into, you do not need to do it right when you wake up. You don't need to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't need to do anything that doesn't feel right to you. And so when you're doing the morning routine, what does it look like for you? I've done the miracle morning. So if you, and I'm trying to think of what so it's meditation, journaling, reading, exercise, and there's a fifth one, and I've done that before, and that worked really well during the time that it worked. And so now I have a meditation that I do, and I have affirmation is the fifth one. So I do a meditation, and I have gratitude gratitude practice that I do. And those two things take about 25 minutes or so. And if I have any more time, depending on how I've scheduled my day, I might just, lie there on the floor on my table and just be in the moment. And when we're able to do that, yes, our brain may be like, you gotta do this, and you gotta do this, and you gotta do that. What I have found is when you're able to do the brain dump and you have the energy retrain, you already have that already done. There may be a couple of things that come up. So I keep a little notepad and I just write it down. I just interrupt myself and I write it down. So then I can just let it go. Someone said, imagine those thoughts. Probably several people do. Imagine those thoughts in a cloud that are just like going over the sky. Some people can't shut it off. So if silence is not your thing, don't make it be your thing. Do a guided meditation. That seems to work better for me. In silence, having sound bowls in the background actually help me to not think about all the other things. It's something that distracts my brain enough where I'm not going into what someone calls the Cheetah Mode, which is like, you're just sort of like all over the place. And I can be grounded. So when I leave my morning routine, my morning practice, I'm grounded and I'm present in the moment. And I'm not missing out on things in my life and business that I may have if I didn't spend the time. Even if it's 5 minutes breathing, I tell people, even if it's 5 minutes breathing to get yourself grounded and ready to go, that's where we are. And so I hope today was very helpful for you on these tools. Again, keep an eye out for some free gift of the Energy Retrain, because I got an idea as I was doing this podcast. It's such a great tool to use for your everyday business and personal. And be present in every moment. And when you're present in every moment, you are able to enjoy life and be able to enjoy your business at the same time. So if you want to check out Connect and Elevate, you can go to connectandelevate.com, where there's an opportunity to schedule a time with me. And there's also our introvert energy toolkit, which I've heard from extroverts is also helpful for them. So thank you so much. I enjoyed being here and doing this 5-part series. And I hope that you enjoyed and got a lot of information that you can go and implement. So thank you.